Not the kind of thing that we report on a lot, really rarely here on its face. Tell us a little bit more about what we know about this apparent kidnapping,
abduction
of this 7-year-old girl in Zimmerman.
Yeah. So this is really parents' worst nightmare, of course, but the best possible outcome, you could say, right? Because now this 7-year-old girl who authorities are saying her name, Brinley. There was a press conference that was held around 10:30 this morning. Yeah, the best possible outcome is that she is safe. A big response, though, Amy, from, if you think about how cold, I know you've been talking about it, but just how cold it was last night. 700 volunteers came out last night to look for this 7-year-old, 200 law enforcement members as well. And so what ended up happening is, let's walk you through what happened. So around 6:30 last night is when police say they got a call about missing 7-year-old Brinley. So there was, family knew that she was supposed to get off the bus. She typically gets off the bus around 4 o'clock. Okay. They did not see her. There was some sort of miscommunication between family members, so they then notified police. Officers then received tips about a black, now this was kind of swirling around social media as well, about a black pickup truck. They said there was a black pickup truck behind a school bus. They then kind of debunked that and said no, they saw no one get inside of that vehicle, so she was not there. But through this investigation, they ended up finding 28-year-old Joseph Bragg, who reporters did ask what was the tie-in between this little girl and this 28-year-old. They only said, and I want to quote him here, there was a social media tie. That was it. But if we fast forward, they had determined that this was in fact an abduction. Of course, you probably got that Amber Alert last night, late last night. I think I got mine around 11 or so. They ended up finding her early this morning with Joseph Bragg inside of a white pickup truck that he had been driving. So she had gone missing, disappeared in Zimmerman, but was found in Albert Lee. There are a lot of questions here. This press conference was only about 10 minutes. They didn't, of course, it's very early in their investigation. They didn't offer up a lot of answers, especially about him in particular. They said he had no known address. Again, only saying that there was some sort of social media tie. And I thought it was interesting because one of the reporters did ask in the room, well, what would you tell other parents right now who might be a little afraid or maybe need to have some sort of conversations with their kids? What would you tell them? And the commander of the Sherman County Sheriff's Office did say that you guys should talk to parents, talk to kids, about social media and should really be monitoring children on social media. So we don't know and don't want to speculate what that means. We don't know if she had a social media account or got access in some way, or maybe he got access to her in some way, because again, they're saying this was an abduction with no known, I guess, contact between the two of them.
Interesting.
So yeah, we walked away with a little more questions than answers, but of course the big thing is that this was the big headline. There was a 7-year-old that was abducted in Zimmerman. She is now safe, but we are still working to learn what this relationship was, how he had access to her. Was it something maybe he was watching, or I don't know.
Do we know how authorities were they tipped off, or how did they make the connection that she was with him and then they were able to go and pull the car over, or do we know anything about that?
So I did write that down because they said, so again, this Amber Alert was issued, and they said they're very cautious about that because they deal with this kind of every day. You know, parents may call and say, hey, I haven't found my kid. And then they're, quickly found right after that. So they did receive some tips, and that's when that black car came into question. But then that Amber Alert was issued. They then ended up finding out that there was some sort of, through their investigation, that there was a white pickup truck involved in this. That's when they kind of zeroed in on where is that white pickup truck. Of course, they had all of these law enforcement officers and members of the force out searching, and that led to them finding this guy, this 7-year-old. And we're not sure where he's from. We heard Maple Grove, but they say he has no known address.
Sure.
So still working to learn a lot in between sort of lines here.
Okay. But and it's a fine line between there's an active investigation, but also this puts so many people on high alert.
Absolutely. And hopefully conversations are happening as well. And I think that
hopefully
that was some of their point today too, is like, we see what could potentially happen, and thank God it was this sort of ending. But hopefully this is a wake-up call for some parents of let's have these conversations, and also let's monitor our children as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And easier said than done, trust
Absolutely.
me. But,
yeah, we all get busy, and
so
we're kind of
hard.
just going through the days. But yeah, this
glad
is so
to hear
important.
this morning that this is
Absolutely.
a good, safe ending for her.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that. I
Of
appreciate
course,
it very
absolutely.
much.